Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Rebel Daily live stream. I am alone here in the studio, but not alone in spirit because I have with me the beautiful Alexa Lavoie and the beautiful Natasha Natasha Biazzi joining me remote via satellite communication from location unknown. No. Where are you guys today?
Me in Quebec City.
Quebec City.
But no, actually, it's not true. It's Montreal now.
Montreal. I was like, didn't you move? Nat, where are you joining us from? I think I know, but
yeah, I'm in Toronto here with my dog Pepe. I just didn't feel like leaving him today, so I'm at my home studio, living the dream.
I didn't feel like leaving Beatrice today either, so I brought her with me. She's sleeping in the other room. She's snoring away, upsetting everyone. So how are you guys doing? There's a lot to get through news-wise, but what's anything on top of mind before we start?
I think maybe we should let people know that we are streaming on YouTube, Rumble, Getter, Not Super You, Odyssey. And we your chats throughout the show, so be sure to send those in, y'all, so that we want to hear from you and we want to read your message live on the air. So please send those in and keep them funny. We love all your feedback and all the things you guys have to say, and thank you in advance for your kind donations.
Yeah, keep them funny but also appropriate, guys, you know.
Yeah. Some people, if you want, you can write to me in French and I can answer your question too.
Well, there you go. I can try, but I won't be successful. That's a good point, Nat. I almost forgot to mention that all. So amazing. Should we jump into it? Should we just jump into the news? So not? I guess because, not everyone has watched the Rebel Daily live stream before. Basically what we do is the Rebels react to the news of the day, and there's always something to react to, and sometimes you know what we're going to say, sometimes you don't. So let's dive in. We're going to talk about bringing back restrictions, everyone's favorite thing. Yay! So Canada is bringing back mandatory random testing of travelers arriving at main airports. Oy vey.
Yeah. But it's not a surprise for nobody. Everybody knew that everything was probably coming back for autumn and for the fall. And it's not a surprise because we know that the wave is always coming back at this time of the year. And especially in Quebec, they were talking about the campaign of vaccination. So we knew that something will coming back, and maybe other measure will coming back. We don't know, but you have some place now that they are reinstalling like mask indoor. We'll see how long it would take that it's coming back here.
Yeah, well, I mean, you mentioned that we expected this in autumn in the fall, but it's July. Like these measures are coming back July 19th. So I don't know about you guys, but
I think you don't remember when they put the mandatory mask inside. It was during the summer last year.
Yeah. Sorry, what were you saying, Nat?
I was just saying that it's funny how they pick these random dates. Like, is the science suddenly in effect on the 19th? Like, why can't they just do it now? And like, how do they decide who they're going to choose? Like, I guess they're saying it's random, but like, how do you go about that? The airports are already so disorganized. Like, shouldn't we have like a clear plan in place for this and a little bit more structure?
You sound crazy.
But since the beginning of everything, it's always like, in a month will they put like this measure in place? Okay, why not now? If it's really urgent, now.
Yeah. And like I think you alluded to, Nat, things are so terrible at the airports right now in Canada. Like, to bring in more steps to get people on and off flights seems like a horrendous idea. But safety first. You gotta play it safe, guys. There's a deadly virus out there, right?
And especially like when we look at France just removed that from their travel like restriction, and now we put it back.
So what I'm hearing is meet you guys in Paris.
Yes.
Alexa can be our translator.
I can be more.
She can be so much more too. She can be so much more.
I know that Canada kind of is it kind of seems like we're the test dummy for some of this stuff, because as you just mentioned, like other parts of the world they're removing restrictions, they're not implementing more, let alone in the summer where like no one is supposed to be sick in the summer. Like, why do you guys think Canada is the test dummy for this?
Yeah, I think I now admire like France. It's just because, as we know, France, Macron have lost his majority, so now he have a real opposition or stopping what he wants to implement. But here in Canada, but Justin Trudeau did an alliance with like NDP, and now they are together to choose what they want to do. And as we know, Jagmeet Singh is probably like in the same boat than Mr. Trudeau.
It's a sinking ship, I would think. But yes, they are in the same boat. But Nat, you mentioned that other parts of the world are not bringing in more restrictions, but LA County is. Holler to Gavin Newsom. LA County is inching closer to bringing back indoor mask requirements as Omicron subvariants surge.
I'm convinced that LA, because of all the celebrities, they like implementing masking because it allows them to be more anonymous, you know?
That's a really good theory.
That's my theory.
Me, I would say as well, the industry of filming, movie and everything have more, like when it's come to if you have like too much increased case, we saw it with our actor in Quebec. If you have more case, that stop them to perform, stop them to do their scene and everything. So I think more the people around wear masks, for them, they say, okay, probably they will not stop us for doing this or this or this, because and afterwards, like, you're getting crazy on the when they do their show. So I think it's probably why this place is more like strict. I don't know, it's just like my opinion.
Yeah, well, yeah, you're probably right, Alexa. It's probably about money, and if they can't, if sages are cursing, my gosh, dyslexic. If cases are surging, then their productions could be shut down again, and what would we watch on Netflix? Oh my gosh, and people would be out of work. And even though people are out of work all over the world, the people in Hollywood are the ones that really matter. I wrote down a note here. I wrote, interesting but not relevant at all, that LA County's vaccination rate is 72% are considered fully vaccinated, which I believe is 2 doses. 80% have received at least 1 dose, and 40% have received 3 doses. So it's just no comment. Just interesting but not relevant. Just
yeah. But us, they talk about the 4th one.
Yeah. I read somewhere that they're going to ask people to get a vaccine every 9 months. So
nice.
Yeah.
So going back to what you just said, Kat, it's like summer and all these people are vaccinated, but they're all sick. Like there's like a huge surge in cases. Like shouldn't we be questioning that?
No. Not on YouTube anyways.
No, you cannot question.
You cannot. It's follow the science, guys. Okay? Just get vaccinated. And keep doing it over and over again because it's for your health.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Can the YouTube algorithms detect sarcasm? I'm not sure. We'll find out.
Nah, not at all.
Okay, perfect. I find it fascinating that Gavin Newsom is the governor of California, and he's also unofficially kind of said that he wants to run for president. So I know that in the states, the states, not the federal government, but the states run their own like COVID restrictions. So maybe that would be okay, and maybe it wouldn't have a huge impact. But it's just like, do you want this guy to be the president? He's like so on board with masking everyone and COVID. There he is. Oh, good. Yep. That's how you drive a car, Gavin. Yep. He's just like, I mean, I love California. I have family that used to live there, and I traveled there all the time. But from what I hear, it's not a nice place to be anymore, specifically San Francisco. It just, I don't know. I don't know how well he's going to do. I think he's pretty like suave and charming. So maybe that's all people care about, because we know from our prime minister, like if you have the hair and people think you're charming, you can be the leader of the your country. So we'll see what happens with that. But I think it's going to end up being Newsom versus DeSantis, which is going to be very interesting because I know we didn't put it on the list here, but Ron DeSantis is like completely against COVID lockdowns, restrictions, and he's also against like the transgender woke ideology. Recently he said that only women can get pregnant, which is like, oh my God, very shocking.
Like what people were saying like during many decades and now it's like
millennia. Yeah,
you don't say that.
No.
So the science has just changed randomly.
Yeah. And now it's settled.
Talk about them being like polar opposites.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I think it would be such an interesting election and debates. And hopefully it won't be like the Trump-Clinton election where I remember, I don't know if you guys watched the debates, but the debates they didn't debate a single issue on the table. All they did was personal attacks back and forth. So it would be like really nice to see two people actually talk about the policies that are on the line here. So I think that maybe it'll be like that, but the way that discourse is running currently in the world and specifically in the Western world, it's all about like personal attacks and he said, she said. But let's hope that it would be an interesting debate and the best.
Not like that one I think it was in Edmonton about like the CPC debate when they were asking like, which book are you reading now?
Yeah.
Or stuff like that. I was like, we don't care. We have so much issue right now in the society. Can we talk about that?
Yeah, wasn't one of the questions like, what's the last Netflix show you binged? It's like, this isn't like girl chat. This is supposed to be politics. No offense to us. We're talking politics, but it's not supposed to be lighthearted banter. I think we should throw to an ad though, because we've got to promo the store.
Yeah.
Let's see what we have here.
Hey folks, check out the newest arrival to the Rebel News store. Yes, F is for Fidel and F is for father. I mean, could it be? Yes, half this photo, the colored half, is Justin Trudeau. The black and white half is a young Fidel Castro. Wait now, or is it vice versa? It's so confusing. I'm a huge Forensic Files fan. Wouldn't it be great if we could have piece of Justin's DNA and a piece of Fidel's DNA and put the rumor to bed once and for all? But in the meantime, we'll just have to walk around wearing this shirt, hinting at a great Canadian conspiracy. Or is it? In any event, if you want to get this shirt, folks, go to the Rebel News store and check this out. Type in our new discount code, that's SUMMER, SUMMER, and if you buy 2 unisex t-shirts, you get an additional one for free. What a deal. Like I said, Justin Trudeau, Fidel Castro. As they used to say on the ABC detergent ads, can you tell the difference? I can't tell the difference.
Oh my God, that's my favorite.
I've never seen that before. That was hilarious.
Oh, I almost cried.
David Menzies is a national treasure. We must protect him at all cost. So as we just saw in that ad, summer code SUMMER, and you can get a free t-shirt with the purchase of 2 unisex t-shirts, and you can have all the t-shirts. You could just be teed out. We know that we love a t-shirt and jeans. It's just a classic look. You can't go wrong. So there it is.
Yeah.
The Justin Castro. I don't know if we're allowed to.
We have one in support of the farmer that I really love, and I'm waiting for mine right now with the trucker and the tractor.
Is it that one there, the Resistance?
Yeah, I love it.
That's really cool.
So nice. Yes.
Yeah. Very nice.
And especially like it just show our support to Netherlands, but as well to other countries all around that are fighting for their land. So I think it's a good way to show their support and as well to support Rebel News. So this is good.
Yeah, and when Nat starts a protest, there'll be a little Mini Cooper on the t-shirt as well. So that'll be the next movement. Mini Coopers for freedom. That's a great ad, and I love David Menzies. Okay.
Me too.
So here's a piece of tragic news. Ivana Trump, former President Donald Trump's first wife, died yesterday suddenly. Or maybe it was this morning. I don't really know.
No,
Yesterday?
It
Yeah,
was yesterday.
Thursday, yeah. So she's 73 years old, and the police are saying it looks like an accident, but the cause is unknown at this point. It's just like, it's a piece of news. I don't really have much to say on it other than I think we should just acknowledge it, and it's sad. Apparently Donald Trump and her had a pretty good relationship after their divorce, and they talked once a week, and they raised their 3 children together. So it's sad when someone dies, and she wasn't that old. 73 is not that old, so it's sad.
I would share my condolences to Donald Trump and his family.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, they've lost their mother, which is pretty, and it's suddenly too. It's not like she was sick or anything. So we send our love to them. Shall we move on?
Yes.
Girl gang. Let's see. TSA. Yes. Nope. Okay. High schoolers. What are we going to do?
High schooler?
Yeah, I think we want to talk about the high schoolers.
Yeah.
That's my bad. Okay. Yes. High schoolers reportedly claimed $636 million in federal relief checks.
15-year-old's dream.
Yeah. I was going to say, they must have had some wild parties that summer.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, these 15-year-olds are getting all these checks. So, Statistics Canada says hundreds of thousands of teenage students received payments of up to $5,000, which was money intended for COVID relief aid for jobless taxpayers facing eviction or foreclosure, according to Blacklock's reporter. So not teenagers, not a lot of teenagers facing eviction.
No. They probably stay in their parents' house.
Most
I
likely.
don't think so.
I mean, some 30-year-olds do. So it's
especially in Toronto.
Yeah. Am I one of them? I'll never tell. So I was like, how the heck did this happen? In the article, it says, so this act that was created to support people during the pandemic, the act allowed payments to teenagers as young as 15, but they needed to provide a tax return from the previous year to prove that they work. Blacklock said the records showed federal authorities never gave payments without confirming applicants were tax filers. So there's the government doing a great job as usual. Just stand up. Oh, boy.
It's such a slap in the face to hardworking Canadians, because that's our taxpayer money. That's our money going into the pockets of teenagers who don't have to pay rent, who don't have bills. And, the cost of living is so dang high. It's just so unfair to the average Canadian. I mean, it's obviously not these kids' fault. They're just, would you do it? Probably, if you were a kid, right? Why the heck not?
I would like to say no, but,
It's kind of gross. And it makes young people look bad.
Yeah. And, imagine you're a teenager and your parents are struggling and you take that money. Do you think you'd give it to your parents maybe to help out with the family costs? Probably not. Maybe some kids did, but it's just, I'm impressed that they were able to fill out the forms. I thought kids were stupid, but apparently not. Not when it comes to cash money. It's just really sad because, like you said, Nat, we're paying for that, and Canada is going to go into more debt than ever because of the CERB payments, which I personally used when I got laid off from my last job during the beginning of it was week 2 of the pandemic, and they laid me off. And I went back eventually, and I took CERB for 3 months, and it was really useful for me to pay my rent. And I took it for 3 months, and it was a total of $6,000. But I actually had bills to pay. And as soon as I got my job back, I canceled it. But it's all coming out now that people were continuing to take CERB or choosing not to go back to work, and they were basically abusing the system. And these kids are doing the same thing. And like you said, they're kids. Maybe we shouldn't blame them. But it's just really sad because Canadians are going to be paying that back for years and years and years, and our children will also be paying that back. So thanks, guys. That's great.
But it's the responsibility of the government to say, okay, maybe we made a mistake, so we'll take back the money. That's it.
Yeah. But they don't have the manpower and the accountability to do that. Like
No, they can just froze the bank account, but they cannot take back
Yeah.
the money that they given it too much.
Yeah, that's a really good point. They can freeze your bank account if you donated money to, let's just say, a trucker rebellion in Ottawa, slash protest, not really rebellion, but you can't stop people from abusing a system that's very easily abusable. It's a good point, Alexa. And it's really sad. And we're all going to be eating bugs because of it. Okay.
Yeah.
Alexa's excited about it.
Oh yeah. Not really, but have no choice, guys. I'm going to do a crazy stuff. I'm going to eat some bugs live in my report just for you, and I'm kind of really scared.
I mean, I would be. Legs
Yeah.
and itchiness, but
Oh, don't say that. I didn't do it
okay.
yet.
What if you dip it in chocolate or something? Would that help?
I don't know. It's like the whole part of the report is like to eat it like complete without nothing. Ugh.
Maybe your acting will be better than Nicole Kidman's when you eat them.
Yeah.
But like her acting was terrible. You could tell she was not enjoying eating.
I
those
didn't
bugs.
see it, but I want to now.
I saw it.
Yeah.
What did she do? She ate a whole meal of bugs?
Yeah, but it was like an individual bug each course, but they were alive and they were nasty. It was really gross. But hopefully, Alexa, you'll be able to sell it to people a little better. I'm excited to see it.
Nah,
Well, Alexa's
we'll see.
tougher.
I'm ready for it. So
That's going to be a great video, and I can't wait to see it. And everyone should tune in for that. Alexa, do you want to talk about this next story, the arsenic level in Quebec?
So for the people who, everybody know Quebec because we take a lot of space in Canada, but our premier is always venting himself. Like, we are doing so much action for climate change. We'll do everything better. We will ban to extract our hydrocarbon from the province. Same if we have like the best place in the world to extract natural produce. But in Rouyn-Noranda, that is one of the examples. Rouyn-Noranda have a company, a foundry, and of copper, and this produce arsenic emission in the air since many years. But they just found out that the emission excel 33 times more than the normal limit. Okay, so we saw that the life experience of life of the people are 5 years less than usually. Some people develop lung cancer or other like disease because of that. Some woman, like a woman testified that she said, I left Rouyn-Noranda because I was scared for the future of my family, because a lot of people like is dying there. So this is one of the articles that say that the woman that needed to leave Rouyn-Noranda because she didn't know until when she will like develop a cancer, or maybe her children will develop one too, and it costs money for her, of course, like to move her house, move another place. So and it takes a lot of energy too. Like you it was her personal choice because nobody was doing anything with that foundry. And why I am talking about this, it's just because recently our Ministry of Health find out that some documents have disappeared about the impact of the arsenic emission on the population. And that after that was a big deal, like, and they were talking about the fact that the emission was 33 times higher than the normal. And so the foundry that is a part of the company, multinational company that's called Glencore, is the only copper foundry in Canada, okay? And this year they will make up to 18 billion of US dollar in net profit. Okay, so now they are asking the government about the fact that when they would change the installation to reduce their emission, that will cost about 500 million of dollars. Is it million of thousand? I think it's million. And now they are asking the taxpayer to use their money to reduce the toxic emission that is actually destroying the life of people. But then they are making 18 billion US dollar profit, net profit. I'm talking like in their pocket. Okay. And that is not the only thing. Legault said that he's agreed to be minority payer on this. That should not be an option. They should pay for their own installation, because they never had like a fine or an infraction because they released too much arsenic emission in the air. But we find out that in Quebec City, the company who is releasing nickel, and that Mr. Legault gave the go to release 5 times more nickel in the air recently, like in April. And that 18 public health say, no, you should not do that. This is dangerous. And Legault say, yeah, we will go and release it in the air. And that nickel is not the same that you find in the rock. They are doing development of lung cancer. And that is my city, okay? So since the beginning of the year, they release in the air 5 times more emission of powder of nickel in the air. And so now is the same multinational that is doing that, is the Glencore company, who are not only putting toxic emission in Quebec City, but as well in Rouen-Noranda. So our premier is like, okay, we ban this for the climate change. We will produce some electric car. He went to the COP26 in Glasgow for the summit of climate change. And now you are actually poison your own citizen for a multinational company. And it should be okay. No, it should not be okay. You're actually destroying the life of your citizen. And you claim that, oh, I'm doing so good for the climate change. No, you're not doing good. You're destroying for the gods for the big company, your own province. So he always claimed that he's a nationalist. Oh, I'm so a nationalist. You're not a nationalist. You're a mondialist. You're actually a globalist. You like multinational, and you give more right to them than your own citizen.
That's terrifying. Absolutely, because people, like you mentioned, your family and friends live there, and not just that you know them, but people are breathing that in. And you wouldn't know that unless you were following the news. It's not like someone's going to come to your door and say, hey, by the way, the air is more toxic now than it was before because Legault has decided to approve these measures. That's absolutely horrifying. I'm so sorry to hear that.
and the biggest laugh that I did. So the public health minister, Luc Boileau, say that, but for the arsenic emission, we need to have an acceptability social, the social acceptability. I was like, I don't know a lot of people who want more arsenic in the air. Okay, so I don't know what you're talking about the social acceptability about the level of arsenic emission. But you're the doctor, you are there for the health of the people. You should put a level rate that is actually acceptable, that nobody will be sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really,
sorry, go ahead, Nat.
The fact that the government just does not care about us. And there's just no point in trusting in these people, because they're always gonna do what's best for them, or what gets the most profit or whatever. It's just so unfortunate that they're also pretty open about it too, and we can't really do anything about it other than just continue to talk about it and expose these people. But it's insane. The government sucks.
And it's because the thing is when you breathe, you don't know, but in a couple of years you would develop a lot of disease, cancer and everything, and afterward you would be, why you have so much cancer here? And it's the same, I know that is an extreme comparison, but when the a nuclear place did explode.
Yeah.
Nobody knew. Nobody was feeling it. And after like a couple of years and everything, they were dying.
Yeah, I was literally going to say that I just watched a documentary on 3 Mile Island, and it was the exact same thing where it was years later and all these people, everyone in the documentary was like, oh, I've had cancer. And I'm pro nuclear energy. It's super clean. And since that was in the 70s or 80s, so ideally technology has come a long way and it should be a lot safer now. But the point is that the government at that time was denying it. Like you can have safe, clean nuclear energy, but you can't have public health officials lying to people. And that's exactly what they were doing. They were, oh, there's very little radiation in the air. It's fine. Oh, well, there's more than we thought. Oh, 10 years later, everyone has cancer. It's like, okay, we're supposed to trust you. And it's so ironic that this comes at the tail end, hopefully, of COVID, where Quebec has had some of the strictest restrictions in the world, and they're like, oh, we care about your health, like you're gonna get fined. Or they were, a bunch of us have been fined in Quebec for not wearing masks outside, and they'll do that, but at the same time they will pump arsenic and nickel into the air and not even tell you. Like they'll tell you, but you have to search for it. It's not like they're like, COVID is on every news channel all the time. It's so dangerous, yada, yada, yada. Fine. But also they're doing this and they're not going to pump it through the media channels like they were with COVID. It's just like, oh yeah, there's a little arsenic happening. We'll post that in the third page of some news website, or it's really disgusting.
Yeah, and like, especially for the nickel, most of the scientists, most of the doctors, most of the public health say, no, don't do that. You should not do that to Mr. Legault. And Legault say, I don't care. I decide, yes, go. Because the nickel, you need it for the electric car. So we're like produce a lot of electric car because you need it for the battery. For all the people will develop cancer and stuff like that. So yeah, thank you, Mr. Legault.
Oh my gosh, that is so stressful. He sounds a little corrupt. Am I allowed to say that? No. Am I allowed to say that? No.
It seems to. That is actually not an allegation.
He could be, yeah.
Corrupt.
Yeah.
Yeah. But who is not? Find them.
Yeah, find them. Find them. Find me one uncorrupt politician who's actually in a position of power. I dare you.
Because when you dig, you will probably find always, it can be really small, but I'm sure that more you dig, more you find.
So on that,
I just got word from our producer that we have a clip from Alexa here. I believe this is when you saw Trudeau.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Trudeau,
was this in Montreal?
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Actually, I heard that he was going to eat in Montreal. So I show up, and it was in Outremont. And people need to know Outremont is the acidic area where they had the most police pressure and power against them when they were the curfew and the measure. And this was actually really terrible to see that it was there eating in their face and don't answer their question.
Yeah.
If Olivia wants to show a clip of it,
we have it ready to go.
Perfect.
En ce moment, c'est un milieu qui est public. Vous ne pouvez pas me donner un ticket par rapport à ça, monsieur. Sur quelle raison vous me donneriez un ticket ici?
Je vous donne l'ordre de circuler. Si vous refusez l'ordre de circuler sur un trottoir, je peux vous écrire un constat pour ça.
Et sous quel prétexte?
De pas m'enregistrer en ce moment.
Ben oui, j'ai le droit. Je suis dans un milieu public.
Maintenant, vous circulez. Let's go.
Et je vais appeler mon avocat avant.
Appelez-le.
Puis on va voir c'est qui a
Vous allez
raison.
circuler quand même.
Parce qu'il y a un règlement municipal qui a été...
Toi, le règlement.
On vous donne l'ordre de circuler.
S'il veut pas, vous avez...
J'ai le droit d'enregistrer monsieur, c'est dans mon droit.
Je vais me mettre devant vous d'abord.
You're saying something. I have to believe you. I don't believe you. That's your
Stop it.
Hey,
police officer. They give you the ticket.
vous allez pas m'intimider, monsieur.
C'est mon boss. Je te demande de pas mettre ça d'en face.
Je le mettrai.
C'est une question de sécurité.
Et moi, je fais
Si vous ne comprenez pas, ça va finir avec une entrave. Vous comprenez?
Non, ne me touchez pas.
À ce moment-là, traversez.
Je fais mon travail de journaliste, monsieur.
Je ne toucherai pas. Traversez l'autre côté.
Sur quelle raison?
Celle que c'est un ordre. La police vous donne un ordre, vous obéissez. Ça finit que...
Écoutez, ne me poussez pas.
Non, mais vous allez traverser encore.
So now, the police are giving me an order to cross the other side. Hey, vous n'avez pas le droit de me toucher, monsieur. Je veux juste vous rappeler qu'on a déjà une poursuite contre la SPV. Votre nom, votre badge number.
Krukowski, c'est marqué là. 6084. Bye bye.
Hui.
So the police is like, I give you an order. You need to obey. They claimed that it was a municipal rule that I was not allowed to just do nothing in the sidewalk. I was like, what? Since when that is a regulation? That is not true. You are lying to me and you create your own law. No, it's not okay.
Didn't Ezra say that to us in a meeting after that event happened, that you when there's someone of importance in the area, so like, and again, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure he said that on a public sidewalk we're always allowed to be there unless there's someone of importance. So Justin Trudeau would count as that. However, you can still be there, but they have the right to search you for anything that could be potentially dangerous to someone of importance. And obviously you're literally in like a dress holding a microphone. It's like, are either of these things dangerous? No. So like so they were, I mean, again, I'm not a lawyer, but it looks to me like they were lying. Right?
Yeah, of course. But it's why, like they say to a guy, a man that was there, they say, we'll give you a ticket if you're not complying to move and to go to the other side of the street. And he didn't comply, so they took him away to write to him a ticket. But at the end, they didn't give it to him. Why? Because they were not in the position to give him a ticket. They had no law that was saying that he was not allowed to stand there. So everything was just take like power trip of like, you move, you cannot be there. And the fun fact, all this private security of Trudeau, they had like 4 or 5 cars all around. They were staying there around the car, sitting in the car when Trudeau is the most visible place in the restaurant next to the street, and no security were there. So I'm sorry, Trudeau, you did this in purpose. You choose the most visible place in the table that we can see you from the street. No RCMP or no security were there. So at the end of the day, you are searching for trouble.
I will say though, that's a great restaurant. I've been. The food is
is
really
it? I'm going to Montreal soon, so you should give me the name of some good restaurants, because
yeah, if you come to see me.
Well, it's going to be my honeymoon, so I don't know.
Oh, don't come to see me.
This is sweetie, we're going to see Alexa.
Maybe I can just pass by.
Yeah, maybe it'll be like accidental. We'll be like, oh, there's Alexa.
Maybe be sitting where Trudeau's sitting, and then Alexa will be the reporter.
Yes.
Please get away.
I'll be like, no, I'm a celeb. I'm far too important. No, I wouldn't.
He's such a coward, because like the people who were with him, they pushed the plan to hide him like behind. Like, your people is there. They have questions, especially for inflation, because some people cannot reach both of sides because they cannot pay like their grocery, they cannot pay like for their rent, and they are there in front of you asking questions, and you just push the plan to hide yourself behind.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, but
it's such a bad look. It's worse than if he was eating indoors, like you said. Like, he chose that spot right by the street, and then was like, no, don't look at me, and put a plant. Like, that's so embarrassing. Like, it's like walking around with like feathers and like in like a bikini and be like, don't look at me. Like, it's like, what are you doing? Which is what I do.
But next time I decided like I would be there for selfie, because we saw at the end he took so much selfie with everybody. So he have time for selfie, but he have no time to ask questions.
It's only because he's you, Alexa.
You think? Because I say at the beginning, like, do you recognize me from the leader debate?
They probably took that as a threat.
Yeah.
He's I think he's obsessed with you personally. Like, Yeah.
I kind of like him now. It's just like, oh, Mr. Trudeau. Like, I actually more laugh and I feel him like so stressed and I'm actually laughing all the time because I'm just like, cannot believe that you feel that I'm a threat to you. I'm just there. And the only thing is like, you just look bad.
Yeah.
Well, he's good at that. We all know that. Should we maybe go to an ad? Do we have any store ads? Speaking of things that don't look bad.
Yeah, that's a nice segue.
Nice.
In our little like garbage alley.
Kelly, but remember, guys, to use code SUMMER at checkout because when you buy 2 unisex shirts, you can get 1 for free. So use code SUMMER. That deal, I think, is going on all summer long. So take advantage. Such a good deal.
It's a BOGO. How can you go wrong with a BOGO?
And don't forget, we do the delivery everywhere.
Right. Free delivery worldwide. So get on it. All right, let's bounce over to our next story, which is another fun airport story. The TSA announces additional gender marker option for pre-check applications.
What?
Oh boy. So this is in the States. So I read the article a little bit. Apparently they're trying to make boarding more inclusive and traveling more inclusive by having more trans affirming language in the forms. But apparently it says since April, applicants have been able to select their gender based on self-attestation regardless of their biological sex. So what's the point of this? I don't understand it. Like, I don't personally have a problem with them saying like, are you a man, a woman, an other, or whatever. Like, that does not bother me personally at all. But you already had that option. You could write like I wrote a joke. I was like, if I self-identify as a bottle of water, are they going to prevent me from getting on the plane because they have to take it seriously? Like, what's the point of this?
Okay, my only concern, what is your gender? That the government identify you. It's the only thing I want to know. Your government give you this identification. It's not to you to create your own, I am this. No, the government give you that. If you want to change it, ask the government that you decide that you are, I don't know, a woman now. So please fill the form, explain why, and afterwards, like, it's just because now we keep track. Like, I can, like, maybe I have 2 passports. I'm a man on one and I'm a woman on the other one. I don't know, like, or you decide that at the border I'm a woman, but on my card from the government is a man. So at the end, if something happened, oh no, it's not the same person. This one is a woman and this one is a man. It can open like to so many. I'm sorry, but researching someone who did something bad, and just because it's not the same gender on 2 different identification cards, and now it's we cannot like accuse that person because it's not the same gender. That is my only problem on this.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like it's very dangerous potentially. I mean, remember that even that Toronto person that was like wanted or something, and they said wanted Toronto woman, but it was a man actually.
Clearly a man, yeah.
Yeah.
And that could be really dangerous because what if this person has harmed people before and we're trying to identify them and we literally cannot because everyone's searching for a woman, a so-called woman. You know, it's so dangerous potentially, especially when it comes to airlines. Like we want it to be secure on a plane. We want, there should be transparency at an airport, and we're
Like, I would say, like, something really extremist, like, it's just an example. But someone won't really come and do bad in Canada. He dressed as a woman, passed the border as a woman, arrived in Canada, remove everything. Now he's a man. And he did like what he needed to do, like as, I don't know, like a big, like terrorist event. And everybody's searching a woman, not a man. And it will be free because nobody can identify him.
Yeah, like what is the point of having a government issued identification if it doesn't identify you? Like what is the point of that at all? It's like you said, both of you, it's dangerous. And like sex and gender, I've said this a million times, I'll say it again, like they're not the same thing. So if I want to identify as a water bottle or a man, fine, cool. When I'm with my friends, they can call me Evian. Like that's cool, that's polite society. But when it comes down to safety and national security and identifying someone, like if you're in the airport and you're like, stop that man, he has a weapon. You're like, oh, you mean the man with the dress and the breasts? And like, it's like, how are you supposed to, like, if I change the picture on my passport to look like someone else, it's no longer useful as an identification. But I don't understand how they could just, because it's like in vogue and it's sexy and cool, to be inclusive.
Just before, let you know, when you take like your picture for a passport, you need to, your hair needs to be like at this correctly. You cannot have like jewelry. You cannot smile. And now we just like, oh, do whatever you want. You can dress as a man or a woman on your picture, but it's fine.
Yeah. Because we don't want to make you uncomfortable. Never mind the fact that this is supposed to save people's lives and have accountability. Like even outside of saving people's lives, like if you travel to another place in the world and you get kidnapped or injured and they're like, we're putting out a search for this person who's missing. It's like, we're looking for a woman. It's like, but it's really a man. Like, how is that supposed to help you be rescued? Or it's like, it's horrifying to think about the ramifications of this, but that's the world that we live in, guys. It's fine.
Being inclusive, you know, like it's going to have a detrimental impact, I think. And I think we should be really concerned. It's scary.
Yeah. It's just the whole world is not turning on the right side. I have the impression that we were spinning correctly and just like something like broken. It's just like now it's just
chaos. It's utter chaos. Yeah.
I want to live in another universe. Okay.
Maybe get to some of those. Do you guys think?
Is it chat time? Yes.
Oh,
let's do some chats.
What time is it?
It's 10 to 1.
Oh, wow.
We've been chats and do you guys want me to read them or you can all see them on your screen?
Yes. Should I write this one? Should I say this one?
Sure, if you want to. Yeah, go for it. We'll all take
so, Trini Canadian, $2. Thank you very much. People are waking up. First, Macron is losing majority. Hopefully, it will be Jacinda Ardern next to be voted out, and hopefully Trudeau afterwards. Elites need a wake-up call. That's true. Yeah. Because we see a lot of things happening. Boris Johnson out, and now like I have the impression, probably I heard like in the newspaper recently that Trudeau doesn't want to govern anymore. So I'm just wondering, like, if you were doing your job correctly, you will want to still govern.
Did he say that?
Yeah, on my newspaper, it's what, like, I don't know, in Quebec we have like different news, I guess, but it went to our news, like, and I went to see if it was true, and I was like, whoa, this is a big thing. Yeah, on the newspaper they say that Trudeau have no desire to govern anymore.
That's cool. It sounds like he's trying to get ahead of the fact that he's losing popularity, but I'm down with it. I don't care if you want to save your skin and save your image. That's cool. Just leave. Just go. Just go.
But probably it's something that he say. But like how the mainstream art sometimes is like clickbait, like title. Maybe it's not really what he say, but it's what the title was.
That's good enough for me. Nat, you want to take the next one?
Sure. This is from Noble Canadian. Thank you for your $1. Hi, lovely ladies. Question for Alexa. What's the next type of potted plant Trudeau will try to hide behind? That's funny.
Maybe like next time he would try to find bigger one as a tree and just like hide behind it.
But Alexa will find him.
The plant pot was not enough big because I was capable to see him still.
Wear like a mask that's like plants, you know? And then
Oh.
Or like
So
full camo.
We have like Trini Canadian $1 to promote Jeremy petition at savejose.com because we say Jose.
Jose, yes.
Jose. So savejose.com. I lost track. We have so many petitions that all around, and we have so many reporter that if we were watching all the video of everybody, I was not doing my job properly. So,
Yeah.
So it's about who has no criminal record is being charged with murder by Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg. Oh, now I just. So girl want to read it because your English is better than mine.
Take it.
So
Nat.
basically, this man is being charged with murder for basically stabbing someone in self-defense, and the Manhattan Attorney General he originally set his bail to $500,000, and then they dropped it to $250,000, and then he was released on bail for $50,000. But he's going to be charged. Well, they're trying to charge him with murder. So the petition is just to try to stop that because obviously this was an act of self-defense, and the person who he stabbed is, as the text said, a career criminal, so he's not really the best guy. And it's just crazy that in New York City, criminals get to run free, but people who do an act of self-defense are literally being charged with murder. Like, what the heck? That's
not
insane.
even manslaughter or something, like murder. It's crazy.
But peaceful protesters are jailed. So don't really ask too much.
Yeah, well, there you go. Sign the petition. That's horrible. Okay, I'll take this one. Sojourner, $1. Thank you very much. Masks, ? My dentist just this week lifted the mask requirement. I can't keep up. Yes, mine did too. I was at the dentist last week and I didn't have to wear the mask for the first time in years. And I was expecting them to my thing is I'll wear a mask if you make me, and if you have to give it to me. Like if someone says, do you have a mask? I'll say, no, I do not. They're all in the garbage. But if I need to go to a medical facility like a dentist's office, I'll wear one, but you have to provide it for me. But they didn't even bother me. I was so happy. Feels like old times.
Yeah, for all long.
Yeah. Enjoy it while we still can, right?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
This one's for Nat.
Oh, okay. This is from Adam, Ottawa. Thank you for your $1. A friend found a pair of lady sunglasses the other day. I accused him of assuming the glasses' gender. He laughed. Not all are indoctrinated into the gender quiz show. That's funny. Yeah, never assume. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it's nice when you make a joke and someone laughs at it. I mean, it's always nice when someone laughs at your jokes, but if it's like specifically about gender stuff and you're like, you never know how they're going to react and then they laugh, it's like, okay, we're still humans. That's cool. I like that.
Nice. I have a question in French. Thank you, Trini Canadian. $1. So, it said to me in French, Alexa, je ne peux pas croire que cet officier, c'est un gros tyran qui se fraye un chemin à travers vous pour passer à autre chose. Si je ne peux pas mettre la main sur ma copine et ne peut pas faire... Bah. So, what he said is like, he cannot believe that this officer did that. So, he called him like a tyran, that he just tried to do his way through me. And he say, if I cannot like touch my girlfriend, he cannot touch like you are a woman. So that doesn't make sense. And I totally agree with you. Like he pushed me. He should have not touched me at all. And he should have not as well talked to me like that. It was completely intimidation. He tried to just like use his power as a police officer, and police need to remember that they are paid by the taxpayer and not by the government. Okay, they made a hope for like a hope to protect the citizen, not the government. okay, first of all. And the citizens now are suffering, and they are the one who live the consequences that the government take as a decision, and it's mostly bad decision for their own people. So unfortunately, the police is not what it was before. They are really close to politics, and they are politicized, and they are applying the rule that they receive from the government. Thank you for your question.
Yeah, that's fun in French. And I totally agree. Like, I never thought about it that way, Alexa, but the police are paid by us. It's not like they're Trudeau's private security. He has that as well. Why do you need the police to be your private security? They should be keeping the streets safe, keeping citizens safe, but that seems not to be their priority anymore. That's really sad.
Which one? Nat, do you want to read the big one?
Yeah, give it to Nat. She's smart.
Thank you for your $5. How do we rid ourselves of the WEF? Well, like the Sri Lanka did, like Italy did, and the UK are doing. France, Holland will. Canada will in 2 years. Yeah, we're always late to the game. We will rid ourselves of the hated Trudeau Liberals. The WEF wants to reduce the world's population by 95%. They are the enemy. Yikes. Yeah.
But the World Economic Forum is there since a while, okay? So all the idea was there since a while, just the idea, brainstorming, and they did some step really slowly that we didn't see at all, but it will be hard to go back because we let them changing how we are, our society, because like just for the food, everything is labeled, everything is from mostly monopoly. Everything is capitalized. So now we depend on buying our food somewhere because we are not growing it anymore. So the thing is like they made citizens depend on big company, on the capital, on everything that is sell because it's all they wanted us to be. And if you look at like all the other countries that the West is not really touching, we talk about really poor country. Mm-hmm. They grow their own food. They don't care. They find their own like clothes. They go and search their water. They try to live independently than corporation. But when we look at developed society, they make us really dependent. And this is why we live in this all crisis of inflation and the fact that we depend on them. And this is the biggest problem here.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
We see that with our oil, right? Like we have so much oil in Canada, and that would help offset the cost of gasoline, and then that would then offset the cost of inflation. Like the prices of things would start to go down if we just relied on our own God-given natural resources. But as you said, globalism, they have this weird globalist agenda, and it's working. So we definitely do need to keep talking about it and keep pushing back. Canada's always slower to the game than other countries, and I think it's time for us to have more of a fighting spirit.
Yeah,
exactly.
All right, I'll take this one. Adam, Ottawa, $1. Thank you very much. If I'm a boy, but my health card says girl, won't that give a paramedic or emergency doctor some confusion when time may be critical? Aren't there medications and treatments that are specific to sex? Yes. Yes. That would be very confusing because there are certain procedures that can only be done on women. And I know that, I was going to say, I had a doctor once tell me that women are more prone to certain heart things than men, and vice versa. And you could be experiencing something and call your doctor and say, well, I'm a man, blah, blah, blah. And they might say, well, since men are less likely to have these sorts of problems, you'll probably be fine. But it's like, really, you're biologically a woman, and you could end up in the dead or whatever. Obviously, this is conjecture. But yes, to answer your question, yes, it would make things confusing. So we were talking about it on a security level. But yeah, I didn't even think about that in terms of your own personal health.
Yeah, and especially when you go to a hospital, they will ask you your sex because some medication, the dose is different for a woman and a man because our body is not reacting the same way. Most of the time, like women, the dose would be lower because our body works differently. So it can be really dangerous to say that you're another sex when you arrive to the hospital for your own life.
Yeah, that's a great question. I hadn't thought about it in that context. Who wants to take this one?
Nat?
You want me to read it? Okay, sure. This is from Adam Ottawa. Thank you for your $1. I found a charity from the GTA that brings vulnerable youth to the outdoors and doesn't require vaccinations. Unlike the popular fake Canadian coffee company, it's called Project Canoe. Check it out. Well,
that's interesting. Maybe that's something that Tamara can cover as well, because she's been all over the popular coffee company's lack of, not lack of their vaccination policy. So not allowing unvaccinated children into their camp, which is specifically for disadvantaged children who can't afford to go to other camps. So that's actually really good intel. Thank you.
Yeah, but like, especially like, I'm a Tim Horton camp. I experiment this amazing camp, and it's mostly made for the people who have one parent, like monoparental parents. And my sister went there, and when she passed away, I took the place because they allowed me to took the place afterwards. And that brought me so much experience and strongness, like, in my life. And now I just think at all these children that will be penalized, and these children that need these camps. They need it because they don't have like a lot of money. They cannot be afford to send to just a normal camp where they live. And this camp is free and is offering for them to have a beautiful experience of life, and that they continue to have hope in life. So, like, stopping children to go there, for me, it's just outrageous.
Yeah. We'll look into this Project Canoe because it could be a great alternative. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's bring up the next one.
Next one.
I'll take this. Pamela for Freedom, $5. Thank you very much. Would it be interesting to look into chemtrails, jets releasing chemicals into the atmosphere? I haven't gone down that rabbit hole completely, but seeing lots of photos on Telegram.
In the same time, we need to be careful of picture and video. Sometimes they can be like a little bit changing. So it's always looking at the sources. But I agree that sometimes the weather is kind of weird and it changes really fast. So I don't know much about it, so I cannot really comment. Probably we should like ask one of our experts on weather in our team if we have one. But yeah, we can. I don't say that we're not doing it. We just need to find the perfect person to investigate on that.
I just know that Alex Jones has been talking about this for a long time, and he usually ends up being right about stuff. But like you said, Alexa, anything can be fixed, and I do Photoshop all day, so who knows? But it is a valid concern. We just don't know a lot about it. But yeah, there's a rabbit hole there to go down.
I would take that one because it's short.
Yay!
Yay! Pamela for Freedom, $2. Thank you. And thank you for making it short for me. I appreciate the passion you lady have. Bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is so really nice.
Those are the best kinds of things.
I let that one to you.
Now you can take this.
Alrighty, this is from Trini Canadian. Thank you for your $1. Cannot hardly wait to watch Kamloops. Finally, the truth is coming out. I totally knew that there was more to the story that met the eye. Yes.
Yes. Drea and Matt's documentary Kamloops. It looks really interesting, and it's such a touchy subject because the Canadian flag was down for like 6 months because of the bodies that they thought they were going to find under the residential school or on the grounds. And like it says in the trailer of Kamloops, not a single body has been found to this day. So, and it's funny because you don't hear about that part. You still see, and it doesn't erase the tragedy of the residential school system for what it was. Like, it doesn't erase that at all. And we know for a fact that they were taking kids out of their family homes and they were trying to erase their Aboriginal identity. That's terrible, and it doesn't erase that. But to put all this blame on Canadians and specifically Christian Canadians was horrific because there were no bodies found. And last summer, how many churches were burned? I think it was around 50 churches were burned because of a reaction to the findings. And I remember posting about it on my Instagram saying, let's not burn down churches, like something innocuous like that. And I had people messaging me and they're like, well, you know, the Catholic Church and this and that. And I was like, no, stop right there. Let's not burn down churches. Let's not burn down mosques. Let's not burn down, I don't know the name.
Nothing. Just nothing.
Religions, but.
Don't burn nothing.
Yeah, let's not. Let's not burn things just because you disagree with them.
Yeah, but it will not like do anything. Like at the end of the day, the problem will be still there. What you were saying, Dama?
Like they just want us to be angry and emotional and just to react to things like fueled completely by our emotions, because that breeds chaos. And I guess that given everything they are doing with gender and everything that's happening right now, like they want chaos, I guess, because I guess when people are confused, they're easier to control. I don't know.
Yes, that is correct.
And more people are polarized, more it's easy like to go over as well, because people are hating each other. So they just like, the anger is just increasing, and afterwards like you have really a big separation of the people. And it's what will happen as well with the inflation, the rich against the poor. Like now we don't have middle class anymore. The middle class is actually collapsing, and that will create like really a disturbing like society soon.
You said it. Do we have any more chats? That's it. We did it, ladies. I think we should wrap this up.
But it was really nice. Thank you for everybody to be there. It was amazing, and I think we did like talk about a lot of nice like subject, girl.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about periods once. Oops.
Oh. Yeah, no.
There, I said it just to be, myself.
A girl.
Yeah. Any closing thoughts, guys?
Be sure to tune in every weekday at 12 p.m. for the live stream. It's hosted by different people every single day. And make sure to sign up for email reminders so you never miss a live stream. You definitely don't want to miss Friday, because maybe this will be happening again next Friday. Who knows? Maybe we'll be fired by then.
And please, guys, if you want to know everything that what is going on in Netherlands, we did extend the stay of our 2 journalists there. They are still reporting. They have a breaking, I think, story that's coming up from today. So if you want to know everything and you want to support them in their travel expense, because we send there, we pay the flight cost, the hotel, the rental car, their food, and they are always mostly like eating like on the gas station, because they are always like running for their time to cover all the blockage that is happening. So you can do so at farmerrebellion.com, and as well you can share it wordly, because mainstream is not talking about it, and we want to know what is happening there, because the impact will be worldwide. That will impact us, that will impact everybody, because Netherlands is one of the biggest exporter of food produce. So please go and visit farmerrebellion.com.
That's a great plug. Thank you, ladies. Thanks for joining me today. And like Nat said, this is every weekday at noon. And on Monday, you'll have Adam and Sheila, I think.
Yay!
Yay! Bye, guys. Have a great afternoon.
Bye-bye.
What else we've done is we've looked at other bottlenecks. And one of those bottlenecks were the COVID testing on the airport premises. So what we've decided to do is to remove that bottleneck from airports and to get these tests done off the premises. And while we worked out the new logistics for that, we suspended testing until we sorted out the new process. So now the new process is back in place, where there will be no testing at airports. There will be no selections at airports. The new process is where randomly selected passengers will be done automatically. They will be notified via email. And then they'll do their test off-site, either virtually or at a pharmacy. So it is an improved process that takes into account 2 things. First, the importance of those tests for the protections of our public health, for the protection of Canadians. Second, to do it seamlessly in a way not to impact the congestions or the flow of passengers and goods at airports.